wants to see you. Oh, hello everyone. I hope you're well. I hope everyone is doing well. G'day from wherever you're watching. I'm your host, Mark. This is my shed, or part of it anyway. And tonight is what's going on in the shed. Oh, we haven't got the ticket going down the bottom. There we go. What's going on in the shed? And we're just waiting for that to come up. There we go. There we go, all going well. I hope everyone's well and your week is going well for you. It's been beautiful weather up here in my part of Queensland, and we have had a bit of stuff going on with the roller in the last week. We've also been doing some work around the house, getting a few things cleaned up. G'day, Joel. Thanks for being here. We'll just do a little roll call in a second, and we'll catch up shortly. So we'll go over what's going on in the shed just in a minute or two, and in the meantime, we'll do a little shout out to everyone who's watching. First in is Emma. Emma was first. G'day, Emma. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support. Funk and Hungry, you're here too. Second, if you're talking about your food, well, some of the food reviews you do, it is a bit sloppy. You know, it gets all over yourself, the neighbour's cat, and whoever else. How about this fella? Mark Shed Talk, don't know who he is. Peter. Peter's in on fine form with his usual one-liners. Maybe he's taken a book out of Benny Hill or something like that. Cody's in the house. Thanks for watching, Cody. Shed Dog was around before. I had to go down to the gate and bring her up here. Joel, g'day, Joel. Thanks for being here, mate. Good to see you. Hope work is well. Joel and I used to work together. He's now down at the dairy and he's milking it for everything he can. Boom, Tish. So there you go. Stolzy, he's in the house. G'day. And hello. You guys are new. Regenda and Nata. Hello. Thank you for being here. Sorry if I butchered your name. Not a familiar name for me, so I'm very sorry. And everyone else. So, all right, let's get on to what's been going on. Well, the road spur gears that I had previously sandblasted, I sent them out again to be sandblasted a while back. My dad was up here helping me out with taking some burrs off the edges where they had, burred over from the wear. He'd done that with the grinder, and that was a big help from Dad. So we're sending them back out again to get sandblasted. Because they got sandblasted the first time, they didn't quite get everything off. And mind you, there is 95 years plus of road grime, grease, oil, dirt, you name it, it's all in there. There might even be a few animals in there as well. So I've sent them out for a second time, and they got dropped off this morning. I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of people helping me out on this project, as well as family like my wife, my dad, my brother in the past, and various other family members, son-in-law, and so on, who have helped me from time to time lift things, undo things, move things around, all that sort of stuff. It's not all the time, and it's just sometimes when you need help. And also, my work has helped me out tremendously. So I've got to thank them as well. And, they're pretty supportive of our hobbies at work. Some guys are into racing, some guys are into boating or fishing or whatever it is. And from time to time, my work lets us borrow equipment or do things at work to get things sorted. G'day, Simon. Thanks for being here, mate. So I've got to be very thankful for the help I'm getting. It helps reduce the costs of this restoration. A lot of the work we are doing here internally, a lot of the work I'm doing myself, I'm able to do myself. So save a lot of time, not actual time, but save a lot of money in doing things myself. It may take a little bit longer to get something done. For instance, a couple of things we're working on at the moment. I still haven't got back to finishing these. These are the spider gear pinions or planetary gear shafts. I've still got one in the lathe, and I just haven't got back onto it yet. So I just got to, I've got this end done, this here done. Now I'm about to machine a thread, and then I've got to put this square on it. So a little bit more work to do with these, but then they'll be done. A lot of the stuff that I have for the roller was already on it. It wasn't missing many pieces. There was, however, some stuff that went missing. Some of it has come back to me, luckily, which I was very surprised about at the time. And I have previously talked about that, but maybe I should do an update on that. But there's a lot of parts on shelves ready to go back on when I need it. A few other parts, bits and pieces just over to my left here, need to do a little bit more work, but, it'll come together. It's a bit all over the place at the moment. And previous live streams for you guys that have been here, we've had a lot going on with my wife's craft room. She's now in it. Not quite finished yet. A bit more to go in there. But that'll happen soon, down the track a little bit. We just haven't taken a bit of a break, and she's got a lot of work on, so we're getting that sorted. Excuse me. So let's now in the thumbnail and the countdown to the trailer. You may have seen a photo. Let's go. Let's see if I can get this right. Now, you might have seen something like this. And anytime now. There we go. Peter, maybe it's a different stream you need to go and watch, mate. So that's one of the cylinder drains. That's John Fowler and Company cylinder drains that goes on the engine. Now there's 4 of these on each engine, 4 cylinder drains. I've had 8 of these made, or got 8 cast. I should have had more cast, but there's a set for me and a set for Dan in Melbourne, which I got to, send down to him. They're all packaged up, ready to go. I just got to get it in the post. So Dan, if you're watching, it's going to be coming, mate. This is what they look like when they're all nicely polished and cleaned up. So, however, we'll hide that. Bring me back up. I tell you what, we'll just flick cameras here. Let's get a bit more professional about this. I should know what I'm doing. So this is what they look like at the moment. We have, like I said, we have 8 of these cast, 4 for this engine, 4 for Dan's engine. That's where they go on the side. That's the cylinder drain on the side of the cylinders. I've got a close-up shot there. They're it's still a work in progress. They're rough cast at the moment. They need to be cleaned up. However, Emma, you need to take a photo of yours and send them to me, please. Just out of curiosity. Next time you're down there, of course. Now, the machining of these has been done by a club member who, there's a member in our club that likes to do machining, and it's really helped me out a lot. So I'd like to thank him very much. Hopefully he's watching tonight and, sees what I'm doing here. And one day we might maybe open the doors and invite a few people over. Dances with Aardvarks. G'day, mate. Thank you for being here. So that's what the cylinder drains look like. Still a little bit more work to go on them, and I'll be able to do that on this lathe here. But there's also a bit of hand work involved just to clean them up and get them looking a little bit better. Because this, like I said, they're still in the rough cast situation. That's just another piece to the puzzle as to the bits that were missing. Now, as you can see, these were held on just by a single nut, and that's one of the reasons why when it sat in the park, stuff like this went missing, because they were easy to get off, and you could put them in your pocket and nobody'd know. It might be a bunch of keys or something like that. So it's great to have these in our possession, and we keep moving on to the next part, and before long we'll have everything all together. Right, back to me. It's all about me. So in the lathe, we'll go over here. So in the lathe, we've got the other end. I marked it up, started doing some thread cutting, but I've just checked with the thread pitch gauges, and it's just not quite the right pitch. I've got to change the gears in the back of the lathe to get the right pitch, as this is an imperial thread. So that's what we're sticking with. G'day, Becky. Thanks, mate, for being here. Yeah. So that's something that Peter should have said, but thanks. Oh my God. Anyway, you guys lead me astray too easily, apparently. G'day, Tom. Thanks, mate, for being here. Appreciate you tuning in all the way over from the UK. I hope the rally season's going for you. Some of you in this chat here might know Tom from the UK. He's previously visited here, our shores here in Australia, and took one of our engines home. But anyway, we won't hold that against you. Some people might, but anyway, thanks, Tom, for being here. Progress is slow on the roller, but it's happening, mate. It's all going well. Excuse me. Right, now on to our next. We're going to show another image. Let's find it. Righto. Now I should have. Here we go. Here's some. Hopefully this will show up on the screen. I'll have a look over there. And it just takes a few seconds to pop on screen. Let's get rid of that. Captions. Let's get rid of that. Be able to see it a bit better. So this is how John Fowler and company would advertise their equipment. So the roller you see at the top of the page there. Now I don't think I can zoom in. Go full screen. No. Okay. The steam roller at the top of the page is roughly the one that's behind there in the photo, which is the roller we're working on here. Dan Shed, g'day Dan, welcome. It also showed that Fowler made a steam wagon, and it could tip, typical tip truck type thing, or it could tip from side to side. Quite a few of the manufacturers back in the day did advertise steam wagons, or as they were called, that could, with a tipping arrangement on it, that could tip in any direction pretty well. So, these old brochures give an idea on how their marketing was done. They said it was economical, durable, all that sort of stuff. And what you've got to remember is back in the day, is roads were pretty well dirt. Everything was dirt. You were very lucky to have a road that was bitumen, or not even bitumen the way we know it. The little trailer behind the little hopper behind the roller in the poster there is described as a gritter. So it would. Hang on, I've got to put my glasses on. So they're saying, they're advertising that it's the cheapest method of making up-to-date road surfaces which are durable, non-slippery, and economical. That was, it was all about costs, like it is today. The costs, and all that sort of stuff. So it just goes to show you that not really much has changed in now, these flyers, I'm not exactly sure when they were produced, probably around the 1920s, around that area. Where was another one? I was going to find another one. Let's go desktop. And I'll just bring up another. What is it? That. Okay. Let's go here and into here. Nope. No. I'm really well organised, and I run a professional. I run a very professional stream, as you can all see, and I'm sure you're throwing comments. That's all PDF. So it's only going to let me load up JPEG drawings, which, let's have a look here. No, oh, there we go. Actually, here's two we can talk about. And the next one, right. Now, we'll just let that load. So on your screen now is they were quite proud, and they had their name all over the place. And this here, what you're looking at is the quick change convertible engine fitted as a tractor. Excuse me. Now, they sold them in this particular design. Those of you with a sharp eye, you'll notice that this is, respectively, this is my roller. The only difference is that it didn't have the piece on the front that would fold out, so you could bolt on the roller attachment, and we'll show you that in the next slide. But essentially, what you see there on screen is the roller that I've got here working on. This is the T3 roller. It was also known as the Tiger Tractor, and it's quite noticeable. Even the toolbox up in the top corner, top left-hand corner there underneath the canopy, that's all very familiar. This particular tank, just in front of the, in between the two wheels, that's what they call a belly tank. That would carry extra water, so you could go that little bit further in distance down the road. But once again, back in the day, we weren't doing big travels, and most people didn't have cars. They lived in a town or a village, and if they went into town, it was virtually by horse and buggy, if they were rich enough to have that, or they would walk into town and pick up the groceries and, from the local market and head back to your house, or you grew everything and done everything on your farm or your property. Oh, right. So that, if you heard that big sort of clang crash, that's we got those speed humps out near the level crossing, and every so often people just don't see them, and they, at the last minute, they just go straight over them, or they go in the middle, or it's quite funny to watch sometimes. So the next slide we're going to have on the screen. So there it is. This is looking from the other side, and you can see that we now have a steamroller. So once again, this is the same engine, but in a what they call in the convertible. It's been set up as a roller, and they actually sold these in this form, as in either you could buy the complete set, you can buy it as a tractor, or you can buy it as a roller, or you can buy the wheels to go on and change it over. And one of their catalogues that they state clearly in there that the changeover from tractor form or to a roller form, which you see on screen here, can be done relatively quickly. I think within about 3/4 of an hour or something like that. Right, I'm just playing catch up in the chat. I don't know, Dan, to tell you the honest. A lot of this stuff, when you look at the order books, as in terms of the build sheet, I do have a copy of a build sheet for a T3 roller, but not mine. It's an earlier engine. A lot of things could be specified. You could set it up as a tar sprayer somewhere, or even if you can get your hands on the engine register, which some people have, it gives you a list of tar sprayers, road rollers, etc., etc. So as Emma pointed out, there's quite a few options you could get with these engines. I mean, if you wanted Fowlers to put a crane on this, they probably would have. They would have found a way to do it. Yeah, you're right, Emma. Most dedicated were fitted with use of tank of a tar spray. Yeah. That's right. Because, I mean, you'd probably only doing a few miles a day or something like that, maybe at the most. You could, you know, if you're a road rolling contractor, you're probably only doing a few miles a day, and you know, around town or something like that, or maybe in between towns. You certainly weren't covering a large distance, that's for sure. Yeah, yeah, it can be. The only one I've seen fitted with a belly tank is there's a steamroller in a park out west from here where I am. Where is it? It's got a funny name. I've been out there a few times. I've got photos of it, and it's got a belly tank fitted. And yeah, but the engine is pretty well bare. All it is a set of wheels, boiler. There's no cab. There's no flywheel. There's no cylinders or anything like that. Yeah, it's a bit sad, really. But the boiler's in not bad condition. The tubes are still in it. You know, it could make, if you had enough time, you could certainly make a going roller out of it. That's for sure. Now, so let's go into photos. That's right. I had this up before. Yeah, absolutely right. You can stand on it. So there they are. Just waiting for this to load. And depending on the size of the photo, it takes a little bit of time to load. So it'll be up on screen momentarily. And waiting. There we go. Finally, it's on your screen. So there they are. That's them sitting on the bench here at home after they've been machined. We still, as mentioned before, these are the cylinder drains. They let excess water out of the cylinders. For those of you unfamiliar with how a steam engine works, steam engines can suffer from condensation or water build-up in the cylinders. So these are a mechanism to get the water out of the cylinders. And they turned out better than what I thought. They're still, once again, they're still in the rough situation, so I've got to clean them up and make them look a bit prettier. But 4 for this engine and 4 heading down south, down to Melbourne, and they'll be on their way shortly. You can see a few extra bits in the background there. We had some extra bits made just in case. The other bits of steel are from the differential, and they're the shafts that I showed earlier in the podcast, not the podcast, the live stream here. I'll get it right one day. Right, so next, any questions? If anyone's got any questions, you can ask away. Happy to answer any questions. There's a close-up shot coming up. Just let it load. I did have it loaded before, so it shouldn't have any problems, but anyway, modern technology. And any second now. Any second now. Right, finally. And on your screen in a few seconds. Oh, there we go. There it is, looking back over the roller. Just another view. And then at the end of it, there's a brass pipe that will bend around and go underneath that directs any hot water or steam away from just shooting straight out to shooting down onto the ground or blowing dust, blowing dust up on your engine, and you're having to clean it more. So keep your cylinder drains closed, people. Makes less mess. It sounds too bloody loud too when it's going along. No need for it. That's my opinion. I've only been doing this for the last 40 years, so yeah. Anyway, right, onto the winch drum. I have. All right. Okay. Let's get a good. No, this is probably this photo here. Oh, Peter, I have no idea. And how does that? How does that? Really? Come on, Dan. You're driving a roller here. Let's get real. If people can't hear you coming, they need to. You just need to run over them. You got a bloody great big whistle on there as well. But there again, when I've been on the roller at Old Petrie Town, sometimes you know, people turn around and go, "Oh, where did you come from?" You know, it's pretty amazing. Hello. Yeah, absolutely right. Now, what's going on here? Here we go. Come on. There we go. Right. And once again, we just wait for it to load up onto the screen. It's probably easier if I share screen, actually, instead of doing it this way. I think I might. It's just going to be easier. And I can zoom in too. If I share the screen, it'll be a lot easier. There's a couple of different views. So that's the winch drum. Now, most of these engines were fitted with some sort of apparatus to recover themselves, mainly because of the weight. You know, if they got into a sticky situation or a boggy situation, you had to figure out a way of getting yourself out of there. You couldn't call up a towing company to come along and pull you out with their great big you know, machine to pull you out of the mud or embankment or wherever you got stuck. So on the winch drum here, there's several pieces that are broken. You need to, we need to do a repair on this, and it's broken in several places. Now, it could be a flaw in the casting when this was cast originally. They could have been using the winch cable to do something, and it got on an odd angle and broke out or something like that. There's probably a number of reasons why this sort of thing happened. And here we go. Door. Here we go. Right. There we go. That's better. Here we are. There's another view. Oh, hello, Nightbot. Welcome. Yeah, we're about 35 minutes in, folks. And if you're new here, just ask you to subscribe. Yeah, try and say that twice. If you're new here, you're watching for the first time, thanks for coming in, watching. Hit that subscribe button so you can see what we're going to be getting up to in the future, future uploads and so on. At the moment, I'm just doing live streams once a week. I have uploaded some videos. I probably need to sit down and make a little bit more content and upload a video for every now and then. So here's another view of the winch drum, or whatever you want to call it. Winding forward drum, I think, is the official terminology on the drawings and so on and so forth. You can see that she's broken in a few places, and it is actually in two pieces. I haven't actually Yeah, Emma, first of all, we're going to get this apart. They do come apart, that's for sure. It's not one piece, it's definitely two pieces. Um, so I want to get it apart. Once I get it apart, I probably need to then work out a repair. If it's steel, yes, that's correct. I did say that actually. Commonly we call it a winch drum, but they call it winding forward drum. So if Emma, if you could explain why they call it a winding forward drum, I'd be interested in that. Because essentially you could run the winch cable out the front of the engine. Now, some engines were set up with that. This particular one wasn't. It was just a set of guide rollers at the back, so you'd run it out the back. And from memory, from the brochure, they had, oh, g'day, Mum. Mum and Dad are here. Coming in late. It's no worries. They had 100 yards of 5/8 wire rope on them. So, you know, it's all hard to say whether that worked or not. G'day, Lee, First Floor Audio. How are you, my friend? Thank you very much for being here. There's a few people coming and going, a few people coming in late, or it's early for First Floor Audio over in the UK there. Thanks, mate. Looking forward to your stream tomorrow. And so getting back onto the winch drum, it is two pieces. However, those two pieces have been together since it was made, and that's 95 years ago, or 1926, for those of you who maybe can't do the math. And I have tried putting some wedges in there, and just wait for the noisy car to go by, because no motorbike. When you got a motorbike like a Harley or something, you got to go flat out and make everyone know that you're here and making all the noise. Gets a bit frustrating and normal. Gets a bit boring sometimes. Yeah, okay. Is there photographic evidence? So it's going to be a bit of a tough job getting this thing apart. It's been together for 95 years. Who knows what we're going to find. Hopefully it will not break anymore. I might have to put some heat into it, just to warm things up, see what's going to happen. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but it's not the only challenge we've faced. And excuse me again. I'll zoom in on this because we can see here there is a little bit of wear. Excuse me. There is a little bit, as you can see, there is a little bit of wear. Sorry, folks. But you can clearly see distinct mark of like an inner and outer. There's two different sizes there. So I'm sorry, folks. It's not. I should have a cough button. There is. It is definitely two pieces. We can see that. But getting those two pieces apart, that's going to be another challenge. I haven't seen. I've looked at other drawings, and I can't see anything on the drawings where it shows it in two pieces. It only sort of shows it as one. However, I'd be open to anyone who might have a drawing or a photo of their winding forward drum to see if what I think is the case. So two things are going to happen. It's either going to come apart or it won't. So we'll wait and see what happens. I'd like to get it apart so we can clean everything up and just see how it's going. But yeah, let's just see what happens. I'm definitely going to be needing some help on that. So that might be a work job. I'll just have a talk to work, see if they should be willing to help me out. They usually do. Righto. The other thing we got to and done when my dad was up here, that's the overflow that sits on the tender. For some engines, that'll be the bigger engines. It's usually the overflow from the injector that goes back into the tender. It looks like a wine glass, but that's a cast iron piece. So we got that cleaned up, sandblasted, etc. It's now in the cupboard, ready to go. There it is, before and after. One of the nuts was really eroded away, that's for sure. Yeah, dancing with aardvarks, you're right. Going to need a bigger press. Lucky we've got a 100-ton press at work, so we'll see what happens. And that's about it in the what's been happening in the shed with the roller at the moment. We got a bit going on. You know, everything. There's my dad there throwing some paint on. So usually Dad comes up on the train and pick him up from the station and comes up, helps me out. Sometimes we get a fair bit done, and other times it's just a little bit done. But every little bit helps, and that's the main thing. And doing these live streams, doing these live streams is just a way of showing what I do, what we do. And it's no means gospel. This is the way you got to do it. It's just what works for me. And I could get things wrong. But if somebody gets some inspiration out of this or gets some ideas out of this, that's, I've done my job. So, yeah, as you can see, Emma, it has been sandblasted. However, I blew some more crap out of it the other day. I thought there's a couple of big threads in there. I don't know if I got a close-up photo of that. I'll see if I can bring that back up. Just getting back onto that. You probably can't see it. No, I didn't get a photo of it. Anyway, there's a couple of big. There is a couple of big threaded holes in there, and I thought it might have been jacking bolts, or but it doesn't seem that way. I've got to take a closer look. It may do. I think they're about 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches Whitworth or something like that. So I don't have a tap, and it looks to be a bit rounded. So I don't know whether it's going to be able to, put some bolts in there and, push it apart. But it's something we can try. That's for sure. You're absolutely right, Peter. Sometimes you get a lot done. Other times, yeah. Well, not in my case, mate. Maybe your case, but I don't get that. I don't get that. It's not worth. It's a waste of time doing that, and a waste of money. I mean, some people get joy out of it, but yeah. But anyway, folks, I think I'm going to wrap it up at that. We've been going on here 45 minutes, and that's enough for me. I'm getting a bit dry in the throat. Time for a cup of tea, a drink of some sort. Thanks, everyone, for joining in on the live stream. I appreciate the support. We will be uploading some more content in the future when it comes. However, the live streams once a week, Tuesday nights, a regular thing. Thanks, Stylesy. Thanks, everyone, for being here. And we'll go out with the usual end screen of the whistles. So if you've got earmuffs on, you might want to turn it down. Yeah, thanks, everyone. Like, subscribe, share if you don't mind. Helps me out. Helps the channel out. The numbers are going up slowly. So, yeah. Cheers, everyone. Have a good one. Catch us next time. Whistle.